get of our solar system. So we'll start from beginning to the ending. The sun is the center of our solar system. It's a giant ball of plasma, but it's pretty hard to miss it. Is 300 degrees Fahrenheit. It's because its hydrogen gas makes into huge hot burning masses. Its solar masses contain explosions called solar mass and massive heat ejections. And its plasma could disable any connections. It's really near to the Earth, but it's not very near. It's very far. But it's only just a star, not planet. Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun. It takes on this year's surface to 88 Earth days. Only its low gas days. It has volcanic craters on its sides, and somehow could explode for a little more hours. But this Jupiter's moon is way bigger than Mercury. Venus is the second planet from the Sun. It orbits on it clockwise, but not anti-clockwise, while the other planets orbit anti-clockwise from the Sun, while Venus moves clockwise. But by the way, it loses heat from like a giant blanket because it has surface of clouds. But it doesn't have any water or moons like Mercury has. No air, no water, and definitely no moons. It only has volcanoes in its surface power. Because if one of these space probes landed here, they would have died for 2 hours. Earth is an organical life planet. It has each in 7 continents, including North, South America, Africa, Asia, Australia, and on the top, someone doesn't know what it is. The top side, which is the frozen one, is Greenland. And these two ones that are very cold with lower degrees, it's Antarctica and South Antarctica, like North Antarctica and South Antarctica. It's known as North and South. Although sometimes it has volcanoes on its sides, and it's the same size like Venus. Mars is the red planet. It's the 4th planet from the Sun. And only some rovers, satellites, and some other probes can study about Mars. That's called Curiosity. Although it has one volcano named Olympus Mons. But it's actually have 2 moons called Phobos and Deimos. It also has some few aliens there, but they were not discovered 1,000 years. Well, it was discovered from 18 years ago. Jupiter is the biggest planet in the solar system, but only 1,000th of the Sun. Jupiter was discovered by a man named Galileo Galilei, and it launched a spacecraft called Galileo. It was 4,000 years that it discovered about Jupiter, and it has stripes called the storms. The giant red spot, or the big red spot, is called a raging storm. It also has 5 moons, or 4. So people will find out how many moons are there of Jupiter's. Io is the first moon of Jupiter. It has volcanoes of its powers, but no air, no water, and no moons. But although Europa is a thick, layered, iced water ocean inside. Ganymede is biggest than Mercury, and Callisto has craters when a lot of asteroid hits for the asteroid belts. Saturn is the 7th planet from the Sun. It's only far ahead, but it has rings which are made of ice, rocks, dust, and other particles. Its rings are very nice, and somehow it could float in water. But if its rings tilt, but if Saturn has rings on the water, it would have tilted and turned over and over, like Uranus. And it has each of type of moon. But this one, Titan, is bigger than Enceladus because it has thick orange haze. And Enceladus has liquid water phase. Uranus is a tilted planet. It lies on its side and was discovered by a telescope. And it only happened from years ago. By the way, it's a very cold and icy planet. And also, it was discovered by a spacecraft or a new man. Only its rings are not good as Saturn's. Only, what if Uranus was confused like his brother Neptune? Although Voyager would have been shown on Neptune, known as Voyager 2. And although it has moons, but it doesn't have any air or water. Neptune is the windiest planet in the world. And although it has spots on it, and also it has each and every moon. But beyond Neptune is Planet X, known as Nibiru. And also it has sandstorms on its sides. The moon, this moon Neptune's moon named Ariel was nicer, and it doesn't tilt on its side like Uranus. The 9th planet was Pluto, but it's not a planet, it's a dwarf planet. And by the way, it has less water than the Earth's. And although it has a big moon named Charon, it was a brother of Pluto, and it orbits for lots of times. And although it's not lonely, because it has its friends, all the dwarf planets. Ceres is next to Jupiter and Mars, next to the asteroid belts. But by the way, it stayed on the Oort cloud for one year. So they met Pluto, Eris, Makemake, and Haumea. But the sign this side, Ceres would have been there from 1,000 years ago, but now he stayed in the Oort cloud. This is Eris. Eris is a dwarf planet, and somehow Eris was been discovered by a spacecraft from the telescope. Only it was not a long one. It was a very short one next to the Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. And it was discovered by a man, but some people don't know its name. But it wasn't discovered him because the man died. And it doesn't have any rings or moons like Ceres. Only it would have had moon, but it doesn't have any moons, just beyond Neptune. Makemake is a red planet, just like Mars is, but it's not the same size. By the way, Makemake has lots of rocks in its side, but doesn't have any organic life, just like Earth. But Earth has an organic life, except Makemake. Only it's the same. Only it's not the same size like the other dwarf planets, but it's very far next to the sun. The last one of the dwarf planets is Haumea. Haumea is a thick, flat, oval shape, and it was the last one from the dwarf planet, but very far enough. It's a little bit very cold, just like Pluto's. But by the way, it's not ice cold. It's just gray because, but there's no air or water or moons. Only it has lots of craters on its sides. When the asteroids knock down, they go and collide themselves and knocked into Haumea lots of times. While some of the asteroids hit on the planets, including one that hit Jupiter's red spot, just like the Earth's collision. The end.